I am Bob Trask, and this is our weekly reset. Thank you for being here. Let's start with a brief meditation. If you just close your eyes, please, and begin breathing in through your nose, and know that you're breathing the presence, the divine presence of the universe, of all universes, the great mind, the great oneness that is the energy and the intelligence, the very being that is the creator. And that as the creator and the created are the same thing, you as the created are actually the presence. So each breath in, can you allow that grace, that perfect presence, that perfect intelligence, that complete and overwhelming love to go into every cell of your body? Can you feel it now? Awakening that divine grace, awakening each cell. And to knowing that you are whole, perfect, and complete, exactly as you are. As you continue breathing gently through your nose and allowing that grace to go into every part of you, physical and non-physical, and wake you up and remind you that you belong. You belong. You are cherished. You are loved. You are being blessed continually. If you can accept it, the blessings are pouring into you constantly. And you are safe. You are being protected. You're being held in the embrace of the divine universe. And you're free. You're free to be who you came here to be. And who you came here to be is far beyond your imagination. You can't even know how splendid that is. You are whole, you are perfect. In this state of wellness, in this state of bliss, this state of joy, this state of groundedness, as a divine part of the entire universe, and that you belong. Allow yourself, when you come back, to bring this divine self with you and leave the self-doubts and all of that other stuff behind. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is the month of miracles. This is the month that we're creating miracles, and we are. And miracles are something that we don't expect. It's not something that we can sort of say, well, obviously, if you do A, B, and C, then D will follow. Not necessarily. Z might follow. And then that's all due to my intention, to your intention. We talked about that last week. That we can't create miracles unless we have intention. And where our attention is, if we're wondering where that powerful attention is, if we're wondering where the creative power of our intention is focused, we only need to know where our attention is focused. Because where our attention is, our intention follows. And that's what we create. So today we are looking at step number 2 in creating miracles. And today's step is commitment. Commitment. And I know you've heard that before. Let's talk about it on a little different level. William Hutchison Murray was a world-class mountain climber. He climbed all the incredible mountains in the world. In 1942, during the Second World War, he was a soldier and he was captured by the Germans. And he spent 3 years in a prisoner of war camp. And his physical condition was so poor that he nearly starved. And he thought, well, I'll never climb another mountain. And yet, while he was imprisoned on rough toilet paper, which was the only paper he had, he wrote his book, Mountaineering in Scotland. Can you imagine? That's commitment. That's commitment. He was starving. He was in a prisoner of war camp. He didn't know that he would ever get out. And on rough toilet paper, he wrote a book, Mountaineering in Scotland. And when he finished it, he was very excited about that. But the Gestapo found it and they destroyed it. Whereupon, to the amazement of his fellow prisoners, he started writing again. And he finished it. And after the war, his book was published, Mountaineering in Scotland. William Murray's most famous quote regarding commitment is here for us today. And I love this. I love this. And once you hear it, you can go online and follow it or find it, or you can get in touch with me if you want, and I'll email you a copy of it. Here it is. Listen to this. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. At the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things that could never have occur to help one that would otherwise never have been there. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. So whatever you do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. This is a man who's in prison, writing on toilet paper a book while he's starving. That's commitment. One thing he would have told us about how he became so well read and so influential in the world is this: he stopped letting his subconscious mind make his decisions. And we all do that, don't we? We're on automatic pilot. We allow our automatic minds to decide. We allow our minds to decide how we feel about events and how we feel about ourselves. We let our automatic mind, our automatic pilot, decide how we are going to behave when we're under pressure. And it also decides for us the meaning of whatever happens. We don't know the meaning of what happens. And we don't know what the future is. We only know what the present is. And if we're committed in the present, right now, if all the doubts and the flurries of mosquito-like little thoughts just go away, and you just stay focused through that dust of interference, then you can get off automatic pilot. And if we're wondering why we haven't been creating miracles our entire lives, then let's ask ourselves this: have we been awake and making independent decisions, or have we been on automatic? Commitment today means let's start questioning our automatic responses to life. Let's move beyond our comfort zones and start taking some risks in the direction of where we want our lives to go and how we think and how we decide about who we are and what we're doing. I'm talking about a deeper commitment to life itself. Zig Ziglar said most people who fail in their dream fail not from lack of ability, but from lack of commitment. So what'll that take? What is that going to take for you and for me? What is it going to take to stop just drifting around and eating some popcorn and just drifting around? What is it going to take for us to get focused with intention, with our attention focused and committed to our lives, to being all that we came here to be? Not imprisoned by old pains and doubts and fears and habits, but to dare to be new, to dare to be wonderful. Let's make a commitment to ourselves today that we'll become creators of our reality, not the results of our realities, not the realities of yesterday or last year, but the realities of today and to a future not yet written. Let's write that future with boldness, with commitment. Abraham Lincoln said, commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. One way that we can do that is by saying to ourselves, now this is going to sound a little strange, so hang in with me, by saying to ourselves, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I can do. I don't know even where I'm going. I'm making new decisions and choices today that'll guide me along a new road. A road not yet explored, or a road not yet discovered. Not yesterday's road, but a brand new road. One that'll surprise me with levels of joy that I didn't even know existed. That road's laying out before you and before me, but it's not the same road as yesterday. So we have to get out of our habitual consciousness about life and about what we think it is, because it's more than that. No matter what we think it is, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's bigger than that. And you have the ability right now, as an incarnation of Holy Spirit, as an incarnation of the surprising, powerful, magnificent, beloved energy and presence of the universe. You are an incarnation of that, a full incarnation of that, with all of the capabilities. And you look forward, and if you look forward as a meager little tiny human being and going, oh my goodness, I'm just so small, I just don't know what I can do. And stop that and dare to imagine that if you let go of your automatic thinking, and were dare to do, as Joseph Campbell said, to follow your bliss, to follow your bliss, then your life would become a miracle. My dear old friend Ken Blanchard said, when you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. So let's take into account last week's talk on the importance of having attention and intention, being fully focused on a vision that will thrill us, that will change our lives. That's what we're looking for, isn't it? We're looking for a vision, something out there that is impossible, something that you want, but it's not possible. All of the factors around you tell you that it's not possible. Cool, that's what we're after. That's where the miracle comes in. You bet. Then this week, let's become committed to that vision, that intention, so our quest has the backbone it needs to withstand the skepticism and the self-doubt that normally dissolves good intentions. Let's not try to commit to a path that's been laid out by shoulds and by ought tos, shall we? Because boy, there's a lot of shoulds and ought tos. You know, your parents and everybody else always told you what you should do, how you should act, how you should become, how you should speak, how you should dress, the jobs you should take, the grades you should get, the friends you should have. And you ought to do this, and you ought to do that, and you ought to do. Let's not have our path committed to following these shoulds and ought tos, because we're not tools in someone else's hands, are we? We're each unique and individual creators. And how can we fully commit to someone else's ideas of who we are? Huh, we can't. We cannot. We must commit to a vision that is freely ours. So step number one in creating a miracle is intention, which follows my attention. Where my intention is also focused. And then let us be committed to that vision being a reality. Then our lives change. And we change. And we know ourselves as miracles. Phil McGraw said, if you need a miracle, be a miracle. Boy, was he right. So I'd like for you to just, I don't want you to take a huge risk. I don't want you to get so far out of your comfort zone that you feel like you're free falling. I just want you to just move a little bit off center this week. Because this month is about creating miracles. And if you and I are going to be miracle creators, then we have to stop doing the same thing over and over again. That didn't work. That wasn't a miracle. People who are miracle workers are seen a lot of times by the rest of us as being a little bit goofy, a little bit insane. They dare to dream the impossible dream. Bobby Kennedy said something like I see things not as they are, but as they can be. Dare you see things as they can be? And be committed to it. That means, yeah, you're still going to have self-doubts. Yeah, you're still going to have some skepticism. Yeah, there's still going to be those little clouds that come in and say, well, but this is not really possible. The experts say this isn't possible. And you know that this isn't really possible. Cool. Cool, that's what we want, something that's not possible. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a miracle. Again, Phil McGraw said, if you need a miracle, be a miracle. So let's be miracles this week. Let's have our attention focused on our vision. Get a vision, not a huge life-shaking vision, but a vision that's impossible, but that looks like is at least within arm's reach. And then let's have that intention of fulfilling that, intended upon fulfilling that, and holding our attention on that. And then let's be committed with every cell in our body. And every time somebody or something, a doubt or a thought comes across that says, oh, I don't think that's possible, to go right straight through that, to pierce right straight through that with commitment. Say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Or as our mountain climbing friend, Mr. Murray, would say, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. What he said so clearly in that earlier statement that I read, what he said so clearly is that once you act, providence acts too. Once you make a decision and you focus on it and you get committed to it, then all sorts of unforeseen events start coming in to support you in that decision. Because you're blessed. Because you're blessed, you're not out here alone. You belong. You're a part of this universe, and the universe is not solid. It's made of waves, it's made of energy, it's made of intelligence. And all of that intelligence is just moving around. And if you get focused on a vision and committed to that vision, then the universe begins to move too, and it begins to support who you are and where you're going. Just commit. Just commit. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being with me today. And if this talk has been meaningful for you, then please help me, support me by inviting friends to come to the weekly reset, or you can watch these on YouTube at any time. There's a whole collection of them on YouTube. And you can go to bobtrask.com and find the links to come in here for the weekly reset. And also it's a place there where you can leave a donation to help me keep these weekly resets going. And I'll really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, those of you who can stay with us for a while, we're going to have a discussion. We're going to talk about commitment and about miracles and about the genius of commitment. If you have to go, I understand. Then I'll see you next week. Go with my blessings.